it's Vicky. Happy weekend. So I did promise you that I was going to show you a card made up with this Annabelle Spenceley stamp. So just for those who aren't keeping track, this is the Twinkle Twinkle. So I stamped and coloured her the other day. If you go back on my feed, you should be able to see the video I did with that. So I'm just going to make up a quick card with this for you guys. So obviously I have my stamped image. Now this is just a 6x6 card blank, and all I've done so far is cover it using papers from this paper pad here, which is the Hunky Dory Festive Family Christmas. So it is an 8x8 pad, so I just covered the front and cut off the excess. So they're just the couple of little strips I've got left, so I can use those as edging or something on another one. So what I want to do next is I want a sentiment to go on my masterpiece. So I have got just a plain piece of white card, and I've loaded up the It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year stamp out of the stamp set. So I am going to be heat embossing that. So I'm going to use my Spectrum Noir opaque pigment and then some clear embossing powder. So if you wonder why the sponge is there, it's just because I use it for my blending tools. They're attached to the bottom of most of my ink pads now. So bear with me while I just get a nice coating onto my stamp. And that looks pretty even to me. I'm going to stamp this in the middle and then I'll cut it secondary, just so I don't cut it and not get it quite in the middle and annoy myself. And that's a lovely nice sentiment there. So I'll just be my ink pad and I'll clean that up in a moment. I do have just down out of reach just some plain copier paper. So I'm going to pop that underneath just to try and preserve some of my desk a little bit. And I am using the Cosmic Shimmer Detail Embossing Powder, the clear one. I got this, it's a huge pot, off Amazon, and it's so far so very good with it. So I'm just going to try not to get embossing powder all over my desk, but I can't guarantee. I've also realised that I've made a big faux pas and that I haven't used my little embossing buddy to de-static the page. So I don't know if you can see because it's on the white, but there's quite a lot of ink lurking around. With it being clear embossing powder, it's not as bad because obviously it'll just be a bit glossy around the writing. So I'll just put that extra powder in there. And what I do have is I'll take a quick paintbrush just to get the majority of the excess from around it off, and I'll just brush that onto this piece of paper. As I say, it's not the end of the world because it's clear embossing powder, so I'm hoping it's not going to make that complete and utter mess. Just get rid of that. I'll move that out of the way for now. And despite the fact that I've tried to be really careful, I guarantee you that there is probably about 16,000 layers of embossing powder all over my table, so I'll have to give that a clear down. So I just have a Dovecraft heating tool. Can't think of what it's called anymore. So what I'll do is I'll whack that up to full heat, and I'll just give it a second to get warm. So obviously if you do it when it's all nice and warm, it's much easier. I'm also going to use my tweezers to hold the paper because I've started to realise that it gets quite hot near it and it really annoys me, I'm not going to lie. So I'm hoping you guys can see. So basically it's just a case of holding it over, and as the ink starts to change, just keep moving the gun nicely. You can see how nicely my arms are shaking a bit. Give that a waft, and that is that done. I'll just turn that gun off and put it out of the way again. Yeah, my tweezers are nice and warm, but I'm pretty good now. So that's the embossed sentiment. Just gives it that lovely raised feel. I don't know why, I just love it. Absolutely love it. So I'm going to use my paper trimmer to trim the sentiment down, just because it's a bit easier than me faffing around with my craft knife as much as I like my craft knife. This is just a little bit faster. So bear with me a second and I'll get this trimmed down to go on to pad. I just want it squared off. I'm not overly stressing about it. And the last edge, which is where I discovered it's not perfectly straight. I might have to do 2 edges again. Yeah, that edge needs is just a little bit more to straighten it out. Yeah, that's better. Fabulous. Let's get that out of the way. And then it's just time to assemble the card. So I'm going to pop her in that corner and I'm going to have the sentiment in the top corner. And I've got some foam pads. These are just good old-fashioned foam pads. Can't go wrong as far as I'm concerned with a good foam pad now and again. I'll just stick some of these down on there and then pop a few on the back of her. Don't know why this has taken so much effort to try and make these do what I'm wanting them to do today. I do apologise. Just so it doesn't bow anywhere in the middle. We don't want that to happen. Don't want to take off anywhere. Oops, that one's a little bit sticking out. Let's grab my scissors and try and just cut that, and rather than my finger, which I've managed, which is always good. And then I'm just going to cut a couple of little bits out of one of these, just maybe a little strip. Oh God, foam pad everywhere now, oopsie. Just to try and make sure that she's not going to sink when I stick her down. And this should be small enough, I think. Let's check it from the other side. And I can't see those, so I'm happy with that. So I'm going to pop her down first. It's always the fun part is watching me try and take foam tabs off. Believe it or not, I'm better at this than I am with double-sided sticky tape, so I'd be glad that I'm not sticking her down with tape, because we would be here all day watching me peel that. If you can hear random talk, and it's because there's someone getting into a car outside and the window is shut, but they're talking incredibly loudly. So if you do hear anything in the background, that's all it is. And then I'm going to stick her in the bottom corner like that. And then take these ones off here. Like so. I'm just gonna, no, I want it straight. And then there we go. And that's that all done. Hope you enjoyed. Take care, guys. Bye.